Good morning. Just enjoying my cup of tea. But I wanted to talk a little bit about whether it's a healthy thing to give your teenager, adolescents alcohol as they're growing up. I mean, there's always been a bit of a debate that, it's a good thing to do to introduce them in a healthy way so that they know what alcohol is and stuff like that. And then other people are saying, well, maybe it's not so healthy. And it came out on a research that I saw last week showing that during the pandemic, there was a lot more alcohol drinking, which we know about, particularly in women, particularly with people working from home deciding to drink alcohol earlier in the day. But another thing was that more and more parents were drinking with their teenage children. And the question is that really a healthy thing? Because we know that adolescent brains really take till about age 25 to heal, to fully develop. And, alcohol is a pretty toxic drug. So putting alcohol into a developing brain at a scientific level doesn't make much sense. So it's an interesting debate. On the one hand, you've got countries like France who say, we have alcohol with our meals all the time and we have a low rate of alcoholism. And maybe it's because kids have learned how to drink healthily. And I think there's some truth to that. There's also the concept in America where we, prohibit alcohol till age 20 in most states. And then so a lot of teenagers and a lot of college kids are sneaking around. And when they do drink, they often drink way to excess because it's like a hidden and a secret thing. And they almost go overboard because of that. An interesting study you can look at happened actually in my home country of New Zealand, where they lowered the drinking age from 20 down to 18 back actually around about the year 2000. And they've studied it and found that the consequence of that meant that actually more 18 to 20-year-olds drank quite heavily and actually got into some trouble, car accidents over drinking binges, things like that. But also so did the 16 to 18-year-olds, because as long as the drinking age is 18, then 16-year-olds start thinking, well, I should be drinking because it's only a couple of years away. So, there's a lot of information about this, and the truth is we don't really know exactly if it's particularly dangerous, but I think common sense prevails in situations like this. We know alcohol does affect the brains and does damage brains, and it is quite toxic, and putting that into adolescent brains while they're trying to mature and to develop good pathways of learning how to be happy and learning how to deal with emotions and how to deal with self-esteem. It doesn't make sense to do a lot of it. Probably a little bit of it is fine, and certainly teaching your kids about good, healthy drinking habits is always a good thing. So it's an interesting thing to be thinking about. Thank you.